On the blue line, Brendan Pellerito in goal. Pellerito has a personal record of 1-8-1, a goals against average of 4.23, a save percentage of 89.5. Norwich in their home white uniform skating from right to left on your screens at home in the first period as we're underway with Nick Sachs having the puck at the blue line. His shot on goal steered aside by DiFiore. Puck in the corner, eventually picked up by Montague for Bay State. His outlet pass intended for Warren, knocked away by Bain. Here's Harwell from the blue line. His shot goes wide, looking for a deflection in front with Schemmel. Bain bumped off the puck on the half wall. It pops on out. Skinner looking to clear, unable to do so as Bain got back into position and sends it into the near side corner. Now Harwell in the corner doing battle with Montague. Here's Souza at the point, unable to keep the puck in the zone. However, able to recollect in the neutral zone, giving it along for Harwell, and then just barely staying on side was Harwell as Evan Tower, fresh off the bench, sent it down deep. Now Aiden Bain chasing after the puck. Moran pinching in, keeps it in the Bay State zone. Loose puck picked up by Johnson. He'll flip it as far as the Norwich blue line, where it's collected by Mateo Romita. Romita, a native of Milton, Ontario, making his NA3HL debut today. Romita formerly was in the USPHL Premier Division, but now plying his trade here in the Rose of New England as Brendan Pellerito holds on to the puck. First whistle of the game, 1:21 seconds in. But Romita played with the Potomac Patriots in the USHL, or USPHL. If he was in the USHL, well, be pretty nice. Either way, back underway as Killian Ranger, now playing in his second NA3HL game, gets tripped up on the play. Play continues. Here's Moran behind the net. Romita, and now Killian Ranger. He'll pitchfork one out of the zone, gets as far as the red line before it's collected by Ryan Janik. Sent back down into the Sea Captain's end, no icing on the play, and so Moran behind the net. Gives it along Romita. Romita has that roll off of his stick. It's a turnover in front, but fanning on the shot was Tima Basarab. We have a whistle as the net has come off of its moorings. Brendan Pellerito trying to condition the ice as best he can to make sure that doesn't happen again. Faceoff will remain in the Norwich zone. Just 1:52 seconds into the first period. Evan Tower on the draw. Won by the Bobcats. A shot from the point gets sent off the shoulder, it looked like, of Cam Holton. Puck still in the zone. Moran, hard off the glass, gets it out over the stick of Paya Tetsana. And so Tetsana has to collect behind his own net. Tetsana gets around a pair of forecheckers. Pass goes behind the stick of Will Stone. It actually rolls in on goal, and Pellerito takes no chances. Faceoff will be in the Sea Captain's zone once again. As mentioned in yesterday's game, a 2-1 loss to the Long Beach Sharks. Troy Harwell had the only goal in the game. It snapped a 2-game point streak for the Sea Captains as they recorded a pair of overtime losses. In Blaine, meanwhile, in front. What a save by Pellerito, and he holds on. Oh, Brendan Pellerito coming up big early on as he absolutely robs Tima Basarab on the doorstep. What a save. The initial shot came from the point. Pellerito made the save, but the puck had just plopped down in front of him. Basarab thought he had an easy put-away goal, but Pellerito reaches back with the glove and makes a tremendous save. And for the Sea Captains, perhaps they can use that to try and gain some momentum as they look for the first goal of this game. In yesterday's game, Norwich wasn't able to find the back of the net until a 5-on-3 power play in the third period. 17:22 to go in the first here. Another faceoff coming up to Pellerito's right. We mentioned how the Sea Captains snapped a 2-game point streak with yesterday's loss. For the Bay State Bobcats, they dropped all 3 games out at the Super Tournament in Blaine, Minnesota. A 3-1 loss to the Badlands Sabres, a 6-2 loss to the Louisiana Drillers, and a 5-2 loss to the Sheridan Hawks. Sheridan last year put up a record of 39-1 en route to a semifinal loss at the Fraser Cup. They have not had the same success so far this year. And for the Bobcats, well, they're looking to get back into the winning column themselves. Their last win came back on December the 5th against the Danbury Junior Hat-Tricks, a 4-3 shootout victory. Here it's Tony Moran. From the neutral zone, he sends it on down. This should be icing. There's the whistle. Faceoff will come back down into the Sea Captain zone as Moran did not gain the red line before sending it on down. So faceoff once again to the right of Pellerito. And after spending the first minute or so of this game in the Bobcats zone, the Sea Captains have been hemmed in their own end. It'll be Ethan Ranger settling in for this draw against Ian Skinner. First line on the ice for the Bobcats. Skinner with the face-off win, goes back to the point. Montague's shot gets blocked. Montague manages to pick the pocket of Brian Essing, and he sends it back down deep. Moran, the first one there. He goes up the same side wall where he picks up Jack check that. Jack Kinahan. We'll get there eventually, folks. Now Montague. His pass too far for Warren. Warren in pursuit. Manages to send a weak backhander on goal. Pellerito makes the save. Puck was loose in the slot for a moment, or rather in the crease for a moment. And that's why the Bobcats went sniffing around for a rebound. But Pellerito able to get a glove on it. And the face-off will be to his right. 16:10 to go in the first period. Bay State currently out shooting Norwich by a 4-2 margin. It'll be Will Cormie on the draw up against Jamison Bain. And off the draw. Controlled once again by the Bobcats. From the point, sending it down deep is Matt Sherm. Now behind the net. Sherm once again at the blue line. He goes D to D across for Tetsana. Tetsana's shot swallowed up by Pellerito, and he'll hold on for a face-off to his right. All Bobcats for the last 3 minutes of gameplay. Cast of characters will stay the same out on the ice as Bain prepares to duel with Cormie once again. Cormie, another face-off victory. Here's Sherm. His D-to-D pass misfired, and Drew Schemmel will take it back the other way for Norwich. Schemmel has the puck knocked off of his stick. Harwell on the forecheck, manages to poke it away from Booth just for a moment. Booth then from behind the net sent it around. Now Basarab at the blue line. Nearly turned around by Harwell. Basarab manages to keep possession of the puck. Dished along for Sherm, and Sherm will break into the zone. Drop pass for Booth. Booth sends over far side in front of bouncing puck. Pellerito makes the save. Lots of traffic in front. Troy Harwell able to pick the puck up. Doesn't have much in the way of an outlet pass, so he turns away from pressure and takes things over from his own end. His pass goes off the stick of Jamison Bain. Bouncing puck picked up by Harwell, following up on the play. Harwell down low. Schemmel a shot, and getting a piece of it was DiFiore. 2-on-3 back the other way. Booth lost possession of the puck as he went over the blue line, and so Trevor Souza from behind his own cage gives along for Schemmel. Schemmel's pass goes off of somebody's skates, ends up in the Bay State zone. D to D they go, and Paul Johnson up ahead. Through center ice, it's Alex Penning sending it down deep. Puck rolling on its side into the Zamboni corner. First one there is Jace Desmarais. Desmarais unable to come up with possession of the puck. And now here's Killian Ranger back the other way. Killian Ranger over the blue line. Sends one on goal. DiFiore steers it into the corner. Ranger picks up his own rebound. Tries going back to the point for Tower. Tower's backhander got blocked. Aiden Bain gives a go at it as well. But instead it'll be Will Stone for the Bobcats sending it up ahead. Penning into the zone. Sends over far side. Desmarais centering feed. Nobody home for the Bobcats. Norwich unable to clear just quite yet, is still pinching in from the points Paul Johnson. Johnson now looking things over in the corner. Wanted to set up Montague at the far point. Eventually Montague gets the puck. His shot goes off the lip of the boards, pops up into the air. Aiden Bain able to get it out of the zone. Now Montague picks up the loose puck at center ice. He chips it right back in, this time fielded by Souza. Souza plays one geometrically up ahead where it's Tegan Byer. Byer a shot, saved by DiFiore, and he holds on. Well, it's tempting for a forward to try and go upstairs when you have an opportunity like that, and there was some daylight upstairs over the glove of DiFiore, but Tegan Byer doing a nice job getting it on goal. It forces an offensive zone face-off with some fresh legs on the ice. Byer on the draw up against Ian Skinner. On a 50-50 draw, Byer manages to win it back. Moran's shot gets blocked by Warren. Puck still hanging out at the blue line. Moran tries to get it down deep and does. Now Byer working behind the net. Has to deal with the defense of Sherm. Sherm gets the better of him. Warren flips it out of the zone at center ice. Here's Ramita. Up ahead into the zone. Wilkie Cook manages to avoid a check. His shot, however, got blocked. Picked up and taken on out by Ian Skinner. Skinner gets around Cam Holton. Skinner over the blue line, overskates the puck. Byer there to steal it on back for the Sea Captains, and he sends it as far as the red line before Ryan Janik sends it back down into the Sea Cap zone. Tony Moran out from behind his own net. Flipped up along the boards. Wilkie Cook gets knocked down by Sherm. Play continues. No icing on the play as Janik in the near side corner. Played off the glass out of the zone. Basarab went back into the zone. This is an onside play. Wilkie Cook runs into a pair of defenders. Gets bowled over. Play continues once again as it comes around to the near side. Moran, his shot goes well over the top of the net. Now Holton gives back. Romita at the point. Shot gets blocked before it ever got through to DiFiore. Chipped up off the boards and out of the zone. Here's Romita in his own end. Gives along for Ethan Ranger. Ethan Ranger is passed through center ice, intercepted by Montague. Bay State will control as Sherm hits the red line and sends it down deep. No icing on the play as Tim Hayden will control. Hayden stripped of the puck behind the net. A centering feed by Basarab went off the back of the cage. Basarab then attempts the wraparound, but waiting on that far side post was goaltender Brendan Pellerito. He'll hold on for a face-off to his right with 12:08 to go in the first period. Looking at something over at the scorers table. Not quite sure what the issue is. This will allow Bay State to get a line change. Not sure exactly what they're looking at. Perhaps an issue with the glass or the stanchion, and the teams are going to head back to their benches. So we'll take a short timeout as the arena's crew gets to work on whatever the issue happens to be. 12:08 to go in the first period, and you're watching the Norwich Sea Captains and the NA3HL on Hockey TV. Welcome back to the Rose Garden Ice Arena. That might be the quickest I've ever seen an issue with the glass get taken care of. So credit to the maintenance staff here at the Rose Garden Ice Arena for getting that fixed so quickly. 12:08 to go in the first period. Face off deep in the Norwich zone to the right of Brendan Pellerito. It'll be Ethan Ranger on the draw. He goes up against Michael Fritz. Off the draw, one by Ranger into the corner. Loftus sends around far side where he picks up Brian Essing. Essing, however, unable to get the puck out of the zone. Hayden following up on the play, gets it as far as the red line. Turned over, and now here's Jack Kinahan. Gives along Ethan Ranger. Ranger from a long ways out. Gloved by DiFiore. He'll hold on. I think Kinahan might have gotten a little too close to Ben DiFiore as that drew a bit of a crowd. Referee sees nothing wrong with the play, and the faceoff will be to DiFiore's right. 11:52 to go in the first period. Neither team able to find the back of the net so far. Ethan Ranger on the draw. One back by Demarais. Wrapped around the boards. No icing on the play, so Hayden has to go chase this down as Will Stone provides the pressure. Hayden gets there first, touches it along for Sean Loftus, the newly named captain of the Norwich Sea Captains. Yesterday was his first game wearing the C. Glove down by Kinahan from the blue line. Kinahan sends it wide. Ethan Ranger chasing after it. Puck ends up on the stick of Essing in the corner. Brian Essing, a centering feed. Bounces off of a couple sticks. Backhand shot by Kinahan. Steered aside by DiFiore. Now Kinahan tries going down low for Ranger. Flipped up. And now the Bobcats take it out of the zone. Big hit back in the Bobcats' end as Mike Montague got sent down to the ice. 11:05 to go in the first as Ethan Ranger picks up a loose puck in his own end. Given along for Essing, and now Timmy Hayden back the other way. Hayden, the defenseman, simply bounces one in on goal. DiFiore will hold on. And we'll have another faceoff coming up in the Bay State zone. Bay State coming into this game with a record of 7-17-2. Norwich 2-20-3. They are 5th and 6th in the East Division. Both looking on up at the New Jersey Titans, who defeated Danbury yesterday by a 7-5 margin in a game where apparently defense was optional. But it's the top 4 teams in the division who will qualify for the playoffs. Bay State right now are 8 points out of a playoff position, and the Norwich Sea Captains are 17. Sea Captains in their own end, giving around behind the net. Troy Harwell has the puck in his skates, doesn't have much in the way of support, and has a pair of Bobcats to deal with. Nick Sachs comes in to give him some help. Harwell still battling for the puck, manages to maintain possession and get it out of the zone. Sliced away from him by Landon Booth. Back the other way they come. Here's Cormie into the glove of Pellerito, and the faceoff will be to Pellerito's left. 10:08 to go in a first period that has struggled for pace at times. Decent crowd on hand here at the Rose Garden Ice Arena. Had a bit of a snowstorm yesterday. Unfortunately, not as many people could come out to yesterday's game, which was a 12 o'clock face-off. Glad to see the Norwich faithful come on out for this one, as they hope, along with these players, that the Sea Captains can treat them to a victory. Here's Damon Warren from the point. They score! Deflected in front, and the Bobcats strike first. It's 1-0. Looks like it's going to be Brian Woke with the goal, as he was in front, and it was deflected past the outstretched leg of Brendan Pellerito. If it is Woke's goal, it will be his 5th of the year. And now the Sea Captains find themselves playing from behind once again. It'll be telling to see how they respond on this shift as they try and make this even once again. Here's Sean Loftus behind his own cage, wrapped around the boards for Killian Ranger. His pass can't be connected with Byer. From the red line, Janik sends it back down deep. Delayed offsides against the Bobcats, so that'll give Norwich a little time to break out. Led by Loftus, sent on out towards center ice, too far for Byer and behind Killian Ranger. Hayden gets it up ahead towards, at least as far as the Bay State blue line, where Cam Holton manages to work it into the zone. Holton hit up high, still manages to maintain possession of the puck for a moment. Now Byer in there as well. From his knees, Ian Skinner with a poke check manages to free the puck up. Then the referee gets in the way, as it's a real mess right now in the Bay State zone. Loose puck picked up by Byer. Byer from the blue line, shot get blocked. Now Woke back the other way. Brian Woke hits the blue line, sends it down deep, and goes off for a change. Cam Holton, the first one there for Norwich, gets around one forechecker, flings it on up for Byer. That goes off the stick of Johnson. Johnson thought that he might have been onside, and it looked like he actually played the puck in the zone, but the linesman comes across, blows the play dead, and the faceoff will be outside the Norwich zone. 8:59 to go in the first period. Bobcats leading the Sea Captains 1-0. Ethan Ranger on the draw against Jace Demarais. Demarais wins the puck back, had Sana from the neutral zone. His clearing, or rather his dumping attempt, blocked down by Sachs. Kinahan sees this go off the boards past him, where Ethan Ranger from the neutral zone sends it back on down. Here's Sachs on the forecheck. Sent on up towards center ice. Ethan Ranger covering for Sachs manages to intercept the pass. Plays one off the boards for Essing. Essing kicks it on up ahead, and now here's Ranger into his own. Top of the slot. A shot steered into the corner by DiFiore. Behind the net, loose puck picked up by Demarais. Demarais plays one off the boards, gets it out of the zone. Souza has that go, or rather Souza with the interception, breaking it back the other way. Trevor Souza, top of the circle, saved by DiFiore. Controlled by the Bobcats as they look to work it out of the zone. Souza certainly familiar with this Bobcats team. Troy Harwell actually started the year on the Bobcats, as hanging out from behind the net was Mateo Ramita. Now Moran settling things down with 7:45 to go in the first period. Moran waiting for the breakout, doesn't like what he sees yet. Eventually gets smoked on out and turns the puck over. Here's Montague. His shot gets blocked by Schemmel. Now Landon Booth for the Bobcats. On the half wall, sends it on down low. First one there is Basarab. Basarab goes back to the point, Montague. Montague can't control it. Harwell unable to get around Montague, as Harwell saw nothing but open ice ahead of him. Now Basarab playing with the puck at the blue line. He'll throw one in on goal. That's gloved down by Pellerito. Face-off will be in the Norwich zone with 7:11 to go in the first period. Well, Sea Captains surrendered the first goal. They need to start pressing the gas pedal a bit, as they have spent a majority of this first period now in their own end. It'll be Evan Tower on the draw for the Sea Captains, and he wins it back for Loftus. Loftus's pass goes through everybody. This should go wide of the cage. It does. Icing will be called, and there's the whistle as Matt Sherm touches up. 7:03 to go in the first. Now we'll do it all over again in Brendan Pellerito's zone. Bobcats will set up on the left wing side. Always interesting to see where teams prefer to set up off of icing calls. One of the new rules this year is you get to choose where the face-off actually is. Now here's the 2-on-1 developing for the Sea Captains. It's Evan Tower on in. His shot off the glove of DeFiore. Tower picks up his own rebound, stolen away by Warren, and Damon Warren will take it back the other way. Gets the puck past Hayden, but Hayden managed to separate Warren from it. Pellerito will hold on, and we'll do it all over again in the Norwich zone, this time to Pellerito's left. Brendan Pellerito, a native of Kalamazoo, Michigan. Gonna have to ask him if he's ever gone to a K-Wings game. I'm thinking that the answer is yes. Face-off will be to his left, as Evan Tower and Michael Fritz meet for the first time in this game. Tower with another face-off win. Loftus there to pick it up. His pass goes through the legs of Aiden Bain all the way down the ice. Will this be icing? No, waved off at the last moment, based off the hustle of Max Tapia. Now Tower. Aiden Bain dipsy-doodling his way towards the front, stolen away and taken on back by Paul Johnson. The defenseman hits the red line now over the blue, but offsides is called as Johnson held the puck behind him and in a vain attempt to get around Sean Loftus. Face-off will be out in the neutral zone with 6:21 to go in the first period. Second game in as many days for the Norwich Sea Captains. They'll be in action again on Wednesday and Thursday of next week. Wednesday, they're home against the Northeast Generals. And Generals 23-2 on the season. Their only two losses coming at the Super Tournament at the end of December. Here come the Bobcats 3-on-3 into the zone. Cutting towards the front of a net. Shot saved by Pellerito. Nice job by Cormie using his body to defend the puck. Cormie's shot on the follow-up goes wide. Picked up by Killian Ranger. Deflected by Jamison Bain, at least over the red line before Ryan Janik takes it back the other way. Thrown back down into the Norwich zone. First one there is Sachs. Sachs has his pocket picked, sent in front, saved by Pellerito, as Cormie once again gets robbed. Flipped out of the zone. At his own blue line, Paya Tedsana gives along for Sherm. Matt Sherm into the zone, has to deal with the defense of Moran. Pass to nobody in particular was taken away by Jamison Bain, and now Ethan Ranger from the red line will send it on down into the Bobcat zone. First one there for the Bobcats was Sherm. Essing right there in the neighborhood as well. Brian Essing still trying to come up with the puck as Ian Skinner now sends it around behind. Now Tedsana. Off the glove of Sherm. Given along for Booth. Booth clears it as far as the neutral zone before Moran flips it right back in. Cam Holton will get on his horse and go down on the forecheck as Tedsana gets smoked out from behind the cage. Ethan Ranger there as well. Tedsana still managing to hold on to the puck. Gets it on out. Warren run into by Moran. Now Essing with three Bobcats around him. Essing from the red line will send it on down deep. Holton will chase after this again as the Sea Captains begin a line change. Tedsana gives along Warren. Warren sends over far side, picked up by Penning. Alex Penning sends it down deep. Moran touches along for Romita. Holton, caught from behind, manages to follow up on the play, getting it out of the zone. Romita tried getting along further. That was no And now here comes Kinahan on a 2-on-1. Jack Kinahan takes a shot, saved by DiFiore, and he'll hold on for a face-off to his right. Well, Kinahan had Harwell breaking towards the front of the net, but certainly had a solid shooting opportunity himself. But Ben DiFiore down in the butterfly makes the save. Face-off will be to DiFiore's right with 4:04 to go in the first period. Drew Schemmel on the draw for Norwich. One to the side where Kinahan goes back to Hayden at the point. Hayden's shot gets deflected off the high glass, ends up in the far corner. Harwell tried giving back for Schemmel. No sail there. And the Bobcats are able to clear at center ice. Poking it ahead further was Demarais. Loftus sends it right back down into the Bay State zone. Behind the net. Around to the far side, Will Stone. 2-on-1 developing now for the Bobcats. Here's Demarais into the zone. Dished along, a shot saved by Pellerito as Brian Woke was looking for his second of the game. Delayed call coming up with 3:27 to go. Will this go against the Bobcats? I believe it will, as they had possession of the puck. Let's see who the guilty party is, as we have a cross-checking call. It goes against Jace Demarais, who was just on that 2-on-1. And so with 3:27 to go in the first period and trailing by 1, the Norwich Sea Captains will go on to their first power play of the game. The Sea Captains come in ranked 26th overall in the league. They convert on 20.3% of their power plays. They did score a power play goal yesterday, going 1 for 6. Meanwhile, the Bobcats are ranked 30th in the 34-team NA3HL. They only kill off 60% of their penalties. But to Bay State's credit, they are the least penalized team in the East Division. So let's see what the Sea Captains can do with the man advantage, as Tim Hayden gives down low for Ethan Ranger. Ranger has Schemmel right by him, sends it into the skates of Schemmel. Schemmel then gets tripped up on the play, and it's cleared on all the way down by Tima Basarab. Pellerito behind his net, shovels it along for Moran, given back behind the cage, and now Hayden will begin to break out on the near side. Chipped along far. Sent back into the zone by Basarab, where Moran gives along for Hayden. Hayden goes cross ice off the stick of Schemmel. Schemmel chasing after it, sent out of the zone just as quickly. And then Moran's pass, intended for Ethan Ranger, went all the way down. Pellerito came out of his cage to play it. Here's Tower, dropping back for Moran. Moran didn't like the pressure that he saw applied by Basarab, so he circles back behind his own cage and plays one off the boards for Evan Tower. Tower over the Bay State blue line to the outside. Behind the net, Tower lost possession of the puck. Montague swings it around to the near side. Hayden pinching on in, keeps it alive. Behind the net, here's Ethan Ranger. Tries playing it off the back of the net to himself. Instead, it gets turned over and flipped all the way down. 40 seconds to go on the Sea Captains power play. 2:05 to go in the first period. Moran sends far side. Ethan Ranger gains the blue line, stops, tried sending it across the line for Byer. That went off of somebody's skates, and the Bobcats are able to clear once again. Brian Essing now in his own end with 15 seconds to go on the man advantage. Gives along for Loftus. Trevor Souza for Kinahan. Kinahan somehow was on sides. He'll send it down deep, wrapped around the boards. Byer cuts it off. Byer gives along Essing. And now Loftus at the point, D-to-D for Souza. Souza caught from behind as coming out of the box with Jace Demarais. And now here come the Bobcats back the other way, 2-on-2. Now a breakaway in for Sherman, he sent it high. 75 seconds to go in the period. Just keeping the puck in the zone was Johnson. Actually, no. Not keeping it in the zone was Johnson. Looked like he managed to keep it on the blue line, but the referee, with a much better positioning than us up here, makes a call. Face-off will come out into the neutral zone with 1:09 to go in the first period. So face-off outside the Norwich end. It'll be Jamison Bain playing the role of the first-line center today. Bain with the face-off win, collected by Ramita. He goes D-to-D across for Moran. Tapia chasing after this, Bain. Bain caught from behind. Puck rolls in on goal. DiFiore makes the save. First time Now, we've seen Max Tapia out there in this first period. First time that he's touched the puck, at least. Faceoff will be to DeFiori's left with 57.2 seconds to go in the period. It'll be Bain on the faceoff once again. He's got Aiden Bain to his right and Tapia to his left. This time the Bobcats with the faceoff victory. Getting taken down was Johnson, but a little support from Damon Warren's able to get the puck out of the zone. Between the blue lines it goes before picked up by Mateo Romita. Jamison Bain plays it off the boards. Turned over, and now here's Basarab. Tima Basarab behind the net. Absorbs a check from Romita. Lost possession of the puck, and Aiden Bain's able to flip it as far as the blue line. Tapia sees this get knocked off of his stick. Moran picks it up with 23 seconds to go in the period. Here's Moran. Up ahead for Tapia. Tapia then played it off the skates of Bain. Bain has to give it on back for Moran and gets hit down to the ice for his troubles. Moran throws this one all the way down the ice. This should be icing, and there's the whistle. So 8.3 seconds to go, and perhaps one more offensive face-off for the Bay State Bobcats. Face-off will be to the right of Pellerito. It'll be Cormy, Booth, and Basarab up front. Cormy steps in for the draw. He's got Booth in the shooter's position. Directing traffic, Jamison Bain on where he wants everybody on this draw. Off the draw. Puck ends up in the corner. 3 seconds to go in the period. A centering feed gets knocked away. Moran will send it off the boards, and that'll do it. Navy trim skating from left to right. Jamison Bain on the draw, and we are back underway. Off the draw, it's a quick 2-on-1 possibly developing for the Bobcats. Instead, taking the shot and sending it wide was Will Cormy. Cormy had two great opportunities in the first period. Brendan Pellerito managed to stop both of them. Now Drew Schemmel gets drilled up against the boards. Basarab trying to battle for the puck. Schemmel now back up to his skates, has the puck on his stick. Schemmel plays it off the boards. Can't connect up ahead with Harwell as it's stolen away by Paul Johnson. Now Johnson plays one up ahead onto the stick of Trevor Souza. Souza sends it right back into the neutral zone. Schemmel dove down, or rather fell down to the ice, and diving over on top of him was Mike Montague. And then the puck goes out of play after deflecting off the ceiling. So faceoff will come back down into the Norwich zone. Just 48 seconds gone by in the second period. Faceoff will be to the right of Pellerito. Ethan Ranger on the draw. He goes up against Ian Skinner. Skinner manages to win it on back. Now Sherm has the puck roll over his stick at the blue line. Delayed offsides against the Bobcats, but Essing just simply sends it on out towards center ice, and that allows the Bobcats to send it right back down. Souza up the wall, but not out of the zone. Here's Sherm with a shot that went well wide. Sherm has the puck bounce over his stick at the blue line. Chasing after this is Brian Essing. Essing manages to send Ryan Janik down to the ice. Can't maintain possession of the puck. Essing playing in his second NA3HL game. A native of Trumbull, Connecticut. Played his high school hockey at Notre Dame of Fairfield. Notre Dame Fairfield, one of the most well-known schools in the state of Connecticut. Their hockey program has certainly produced plenty of good players, and Brian Essing the next in that line. Here's Ethan Ranger coming up with possession of the puck. Moran sends around far side. Kinahan unable to get to the puck first as Woke steals it away. Brian Woke at the blue line gets around a pair of Norwich defenders. Can't outmuscle Ethan Ranger to the puck. Ranger sends it into the far side corner. Pass comes all the way out to the point, and a shot by Sherm. Blocker to side by Pellerito. Now Woke behind the net. Took an interesting hop off the kick plate. Centering feed intercepted by Ranger. Now Romita behind the net. Giving on up for Kinahan. Kinahan, nifty little move to give himself a little space. Throws it into an empty area. Nobody home. Bay State making sure they only have 5 skaters on the ice. Sends it back on down deep. Moran behind the net, pressured by Stone. Stone manages to poke it along, and now Desmarais in the corner. Chase Desmarais sees this puck go behind the net, taken away by Wilkie Cook. Cook unable to score in yesterday's game against Long Beach. That snapped a 2-game scoring streak for the youngster. And Cook managed to score his first 2 goals of his junior career up in Minnesota. Shot on, saved by Pellerito, and he'll hold on for a face-off to his right. 3:08 gone by in the second period. Face-off once again to the right of Brendan Pellerito, who has certainly seen more than his fair share of shots early on. Here's Tegan Byer on the draw. He goes up against Will Cormie. Off the draw, a 50-50 draw, still in the face-off dot. Eventually it trickles towards the front of the cage, now behind. Basarab had it for a moment. Now Tim Hayden sends it into the near side corner. Cam Holton the first one there. And North Dakotan able to get it on up ahead for Byer. On the defensive side of things, Landon Booth looking to break things up. And now it's Cam Holton into the Bay State zone. Holton in the corner, pressed up against the wall. Cormie sends it around to the near side. Pinching in from the point is Hayden. He sends it back behind the cage. Cook on the forecheck, forces the puck around to the near side where Hayden was waiting for it. The Bobcats unable to clear. Wilkie Cook with a shot, saved by DiFiore, and he holds on. Tim Hayden drawing a bit of a crowd to the side of DiFiore's net. Hayden, one of the bigger players on this Norwich Sea Captains team. 6'2", 210 pounds, the 03 out of New Fairfield, Connecticut. Playing already in his 3rd NA3HL season after playing with the Danbury Junior Hat-Tricks. Off the draw, it's controlled by the Bobcats. Paul Johnson gets the puck at least as far as the red line before Sachs is able to turn it back the other way. Now Johnson with the puck again. This time he tries going far side, and that puck deflects off the stick of Evan Tower and into the Norwich bench. Face-off will come back down into the Bay State zone. And the Sea Captains with an offensive zone face-off. We'll see what they can do with it as Evan Tower will step in on the draw, the right-handed shot. He goes up against Mike Fritz. Fritz with the face-off win, wrapped around to the near side wall. Sachs pinching on in, has the puck, driving on down into the corner. He'll softly send it behind the net, where it's pursued after by Killian Ranger. Ranger knocked off the puck at the blue line. Souza keeps it in the zone. Now Ranger sends one wide of the cage. Loose puck bounces out towards front. Eventually, it's Ryan Janik who sends one off the boards. This should go all the way down the ice for icing. Nick Sachs, with the touch-up, draws the whistle. And the face-off will come back down into the Bay State zone with 4:35 gone by in the second. Norwich only with 3 shots on goal so far in the period. Bay State has recorded 6. First line out on the ice of Drew Schemmel, Troy Harwell, and Brian Essing, completing the offensive trio. It's Schemmel on the draw. Puck comes back to Romita at the point. His shot gets deflected into the corner. Schemmel sends it back down deeper. Essing chasing after this, nearly able to come up with the puck. Puck, however, still somewhere in the skates of Paul Johnson. Johnson eventually is able to corral it and gives up ahead for Nick Nucci. Nucci sends it down deep. Moran the first one there. Bay State in the middle of a change, and so Norwich able to clear as this pass goes through Schemmel. Schemmel managed to get a stick on it, no icing on the play, and then Schemmel awkwardly goes down in the corner. Meanwhile, Romita gloves one still in the zone, now controlled by Matt Sherman. He'll take it back the other way. Sherm at the hash marks, down into the corner, absorbs a check from Romita. His centering feed intercepted by Essing, and Essing will softly play it out of the zone. No icing on the play as Harwell chases after this. DiFiore has to play it into the near side corner where Ian Skinner runs into Harwell. Wrapped around the wall again. This time Romita unable to hold the blue line. This goes all the way down the ice. Will it have enough for icing? No, waved off. As getting to the puck first was Brian Woke. Woke, the lone goal scorer in this game, with the puck in the far corner. His centering feed misfired. Harwell picks up the loose puck, and now Harwell leads the Sea Captains 3-on-2 across the blue line. Sent in front, but unable to control the pass was Max Tapia. Now in front, they score! Drew Schemmel, and we're tied at 1. Schemmel with a nose for the net. It didn't go in on the initial shot, but he gets the rebound and sends it past the leg of Ben DiFiore for Schemmel, his 7th goal of the season. And the Sea Captains, 14:02 remaining in the second period, are finally on the board. We're tied at 1. Perhaps that's the spark that the Sea Captains need to start taking control of this game, as it's basically been all Bobcats from the first minute of play. And now we've got ourselves a 1-1 game. Jack Kinahan in the corner, wanting to go back up to the point. In front of Rising, shot by Tapia, goes over the top of the net. This is more like the Norwich team that we saw yesterday. Ethan Ranger on the forecheck. Stick handling behind his own net is Johnson. He sends it into an empty area. Hayden pinching in from the point, sees the puck get sent around to the near side corner. Now Loftus pinching on in. Tapia picks it up. He'll send it down deep for Ethan Ranger. Hayden. Loose puck picked up and now taken back the other way by Landon Booth. Bay State's captain gets over the blue line, tries driving towards the front of a net. Pellerito makes the save, but drawing the penalty is Booth, as Sean Loftus will go to the penalty box. He'll sit 2 minutes for hooking. He disagrees with the call, but the referee doesn't quite care about his opinion. And so the faceoff will be in the Norwich zone, and we'll get to see the Bobcats on the power play for the first time in this game. Bay State ranked 21st overall in the league. They convert on 23.1% of their man advantages. Meanwhile, for the Sea Captains, their penalty kill, certainly an area of improvement. They kill off 61.4% of their penalties. It'll be Damon Warren up front for the Bobcats. He's got Paya Tetsana in the shooter's position, and Brian Woke in the slot. Ethan Ranger on the draw for the Sea Captains. One by Ranger. Souza flipped one up ahead, but kicking that out of midair was Paul Johnson. If this hockey thing doesn't work out, Johnson might have a soccer future. Now Woke gives along for Sherm. Sherm off the stick of Woke, picked up by Souza, and Trevor Souza shorthanded takes it out of the zone. Souza had the puck knocked off his stick at the blue line. Ranger thought about going after it. Did not see the referee signal that it would have been offsides, but no matter, as Sherm sends over far side for Warren. Warren into the Norwich zone. He'll send it behind the cage. Sachs simply leaves it along for Holton. Holton flips one up, kept in the zone by Sherm. Sherm diving on out, Tegan Byer, and that gets the puck over the blue line. Now Sherm again with the Bobcats touching up. Sherm gets around a pair of defenders. His shot goes off the shaft of the stick of Pellerito. Holton tries clearing up the same side wall, kept alive by Woke. Now Woke sends one on goal, saved by Pellerito. Rebound was in a dangerous area. D to D they go, and it's Johnson sent across the slot. Sherm at the blue, or rather coming in from the blue line, sends one on goal. Pellerito there to glove it, and the faceoff will be to the Michiganders' right. 51 seconds to go in the Bay State power play, their first of the game. Norwich has had one power play themselves. They were unable to convert on it back in the first period. Will Cormie on the draw. He's got Landon Booth as the shooter. Instead, it goes back up to the point where Montague will take a shot. That's blocked. They score! Oh, Montague's shot was blocked, but Ian Skinner picks up the loose puck in the slot, off the post and in. A power play goal for the Bobcats, and they lead it 2-1. For Ian Skinner, it is his 4th goal of the season. And once again, the Bobcats lead by 1. And head coach Kevin Cunningham is going to use his timeout now and try and settle his troops down as they find themselves trailing once again. Well, the Sea Captains managed to ratchet up the pressure on the Bobcats earlier in this period. That's what led to Drew Schemmel's goal. But since then, they took their foot off the accelerator and allowed the Bobcats once again to dictate play. Certainly frustrating as a player when you see your team trending in the right direction, but then something changes and you find yourself right back to where you started. So Sea Captains once again will have to find that second gear that they discovered in the locker room during the first intermission and try and even this game up once again. Can't really blame Brendan Pellerito for either of the goals. First one was a deflection in front of a shot from the point. And the second goal, again, a shot from the point. This time it was blocked, but it comes right onto the stick of Ian Skinner, who manages to go far side on Pellerito. Pellerito was already going post to post, and it's so difficult for a goaltender to change their momentum, especially once they're sliding across in the butterfly. So Drew Schemmel on the draw, Norwich's lone goal scorer. Let's see what the Sea Captains can do to try and get back into this. It'll be Schemmel and Cormy on the ensuing faceoff. Off the draw, puck controlled by the Sea Captains. Hayden hits the red line, sends it in on goal. That goes in and out of the glove of DiFiore. That'd be a nice way to tie things up quickly, but instead it'll be Landon Booth. His pass goes off the stick of Bosserops, no icing on the play. Pellerito has to come out and cover it. Took a bit of a snow shower for his troubles. Face-off will be to Pellerito's left. 11:44 to go in the second period. Bay State Bobcats leading 2-1. And taking a look at the official scoring, I imagine this will be changed, but right now Bay State outshooting Norwich in this period by an 11-3 margin. As the Sea Captains struggle to gain possession of the puck. Here's Ethan Ranger giving up ahead for Evan Tower. Tower tries to work it over the blue line, gets it as far as the red line before the Bobcats are able to pick up the loose puck. Now Trevor Souza for Killian Ranger. Ranger sends one that takes a hop off the Zamboni doors, went through the slot. Nobody home for the Sea Captains. Ben DiFiore won't forget that as he was going behind the net to slow things down. Officially, it's Ian Skinner's fourth goal of the year on the power play. Mike Montague and Will Cormy pick up the assists. Sachs turns the puck over. Here's Bosserob. His shot, he scores! Tima Bosserob. 3-1 Bay State. Well, that's one that Brendan Pellerito will want back as Bosserob beats him clean to the glove side. For Bosserob, it is his 8th goal of the year. And now the Bobcats lead it 3-1. Well, this was a game that the Sea Captains had circled on their calendars as the puck goes out of play. Actually gloved down by Andrew Yoakum hanging out in the Norwich bench. Yesterday, or rather Yoakum was in net yesterday for the game against the Long Beach Sharks. Icing called against the Sea Captains, or rather against the Bobcats. Pellerito looked like he was coming on out to play the puck, so the faceoff honestly should be in the Norwich zone, and I think that's what's going to happen. And indeed it will. So face-off to the left of Pellerito. But in yesterday's game, Andrew Yoakum managed to stop 26 of 28 shots on goal. Right now, Yoakum and Pellerito, the top two goaltenders for the Norwich Sea Captains. Eric Dillner, the third goaltender for this team, although reinforcements may be on the way in the crease as well. But Pellerito will try and stem the tide here as he has surrendered 3 goals on 24 shots. Tegan Byer on the draw, trying to shoot it on goal directly off the face-off with Skinner. But Byer got in the way of that. Here's Moran behind the net for Hayden. Now Holton. Cam Holton plays one off the boards. Byer skates into the puck. Manages to get around the defense of Tedsana. In front, unable to pull the trigger was Wilkie Cook. Puck cleared out of the zone. And now here's Souza in his own end under pressure. Trevor Souza trying to work it up the wall. Turned over and now back the other way, Brian Woke. Woke, his shot bounces wide. Moran plays it hard off the boards. Tegan Byer will chase after it. DeFiore out of his cage, no icing on the play. Now Sherm off the stick of Skinner. Warren has his pass intended for Woke go off of a Norwich skate before it's dumped on back down by Matt Sherm. Delayed offsides, however, against the Bobcats, and now it's Tegan Byer back the other way. Byer on goal, saved by DeFiore, and he'll hold on. Cam Holton looking around for a rebound. There is none to be had. Face-off will be to DeFiore's left with 9:37 to go in the second period, and the Bobcats holding on to a 3-1 lead with a pair of goals in this period. Schemmel, Kinahan, and Tower up front for the Sea Caps. Souza and Sachs on the point. It's controlled by the Bobcats. Is taking it out of the zone is Dylan Gallagher. Gallagher will send it down deep. Gallagher hit by Sachs, lost possession of the puck. Following up on it is Nucci. His centering feed went off the stick of Tower. Schemmel struggling to stay on his skates, lost possession of the puck. And now here's Mike Montague, the defenseman. Throws one that goes through the top of the blue paint. At the blue line, Janik picks up Nucci. Nucci sends one to nobody in particular. Pellerito will hold on regardless. Gallagher was streaking towards that back post, but was still about 10 feet away when Nucci sent it that way. So the faceoff will remain in the Norwich zone. 9:06 to go in the second period. Fresh legs on the ice for both these teams, as Ethan Ranger has his brother Killian on his right. Face-off won, however, by the Bobcats. A rising shot from the point by Janik, seen all the way by Pellerito, and we'll do it again to Pellerito's right. Jace Demaray and Ethan Ranger once again. Demaray with another face-off win. However, Killian Ranger is able to get the puck out of the zone. Harwell chasing after this. Harwell gets to the puck. His shot saved by DeFiore. Killian Ranger in front, and a beautiful glove save by Ben DeFiore. He holds on. Ranger, a right-handed shot, had the puck on his left side, so he essentially had to throw it on goal with a backhander on a bouncing puck. But give credit to Ben DeFiore having to go essentially up over his shoulder to make that glove save. Face off to DeFiore's right with 8:52 to go in the second period. Ranger on the draw. One back to Loftus at the point. Loftus' shot goes wide, bounces off the back of the cage. Killian Ranger centering feed, defensed away by Cormy. Now Sherm behind the net. Johnson around the wall, out of the zone. Loftus throws it back down into the Bay State end. Harwell chases after us. Sherm will get there first. Ethan Ranger, the second man in, manages to break things up. Hayden then sends down low, where Ranger tries centering one in front, intended for Harwell, knocked off the stick of Cormy. And now Nucci, or check that Landon Booth, gives up ahead for Johnson. Johnson over the blue line, runs into a couple Sea Captains. Killian Ranger and sends it up ahead for his brother Ethan. Harwell following up on the play as well, has the puck knocked off of his stick. Bobcats looking to clear his Booth, just blindly sends it into the neutral zone. Harwell intercepts and gives along for Ethan Ranger. Ranger can't get around the check of Matt Sherm. Bobcats will take it back the other way. Sherm, his pass too far to handle for Basarab. Instead, Sherm chases after it himself. Loftus, however, gives along for Hayden. Aiden Baines able to direct it out of the zone. And now Harwell chasing after it. DeFiore way out of his cage to play the puck, and he clears it out himself. Oh, it's always a little nerve-wracking when you see a goaltender leaving his crease. DeFiore played that one well. Montague able to get the puck out towards center ice. Loftus sends it back in. Montague then Tried to glove it on down instead with the puck on his stick. Usually that's what's recommended. Aiden Bain at the blue line. Now Brian Essing by himself. His shot surprises DiFiore. DiFiore able to get a blocker on it. A centering feed goes all the way back up to Moran at the point. Moran's shot goes wide. Now Romita on the half wall. Couldn't maintain possession of the puck. This is cleared all the way down the ice. If it's on goal, it won't be icing, and Pellerito has to play it. So Moran takes a look up ice. Pass too far for Byer. Byer will chase after it. Wipes out the icing calls. Tried centering it along for Holton in front. Defensed away by Janik. And the Bobcats again are able to clear. Now Wilkie Cook. Fans looking for a penalty in the neutral zone. There's none coming as Ian Skinner gives back to the point. Johnson a drive. Swallowed up by Pellerito. And he'll hold on for a face-off to his left. 6:18 to go in the second period. 3-1 your score. The Bobcats with 2 goals in this period. Right now, that's the difference. Ian Skinner on the draw against Tegan Byer. Skinner with the face-off win. Damon Warren battling with Moran. Warren now working his way towards the front of the net. Knocked off of his stick. Ted Sana from the point. That shot gets blocked by Holton. Reversed back behind Moran, the first one there for the Sea Captains. His pass too far for Wilkie Cook to handle. His puck rolls down the ice. No icing on the play as it's played by Brian Woke. Woke reverses back for Johnson. Johnson keeps it up that same side wall, gets it out as far as the neutral zone before Sachs gives it along, and Cam Holton sends it back on down. DiFiore this time leaves it behind the net. Johnson nearly misplays it. It still results in a turnover as Cook tries centering one. Now Holton has an option at the point in Sachs. Has his pass knocked away. Takes the shot himself, saved by DiFiore, and he'll hold on. So face-off will be to Ben DiFiore's right. Sea Captains playing with a full bench today. You'd like to see a little more hop in their step. It'll be Troy Harwell on the draw up against Dylan Gallagher. Harwell has Tower and Kinahan flanking him, and Harwell wins it on forward. Can't take the shot on goal. Kinahan chasing after a solid check thrown by Jack Kinahan. That frees up the puck, and Nick Sachs sends it back on down. Sea Captain still needed to touch up on the delayed offsides. Now Sack pinching on in. Manages to separate Nucci from the puck. Kinahan sends it back down deep. In the near side corner, Montague. Nucci knocked down to the ice. Harwell with it. Troy Harwell playing against his former team. Gives it along. Shot by Souza, and it just goes wide. Oh, a solid setup as Harwell put it right into Souza's wheelhouse, but Souza just missed the net. Now Kinahan gets it over the blue line. Loose puck picked up, and Dylan Gallagher comes back the other way. Gallagher lost possession. Souza's able to work it up ahead for Harwell. Now Harwell. He gets checked from behind. That's going to be a delayed penalty, and it's going to be against the Bobcats. So here is Sachs. To the bench goes Pellerito in favor of the extra attacker. Trevor Souza working it through the neutral zone. Now into the Bay State end. Souza, puck on his backhand, tries swinging one towards the front of the net. Knocked off the side of the cage. Landon Booth will touch up. And with 4:17 to go in the second period, the Sea Captains will go on to the power play for only the second time this evening. Dylan Gallagher will go to the penalty box, and he'll sit 2 minutes for interference. Norwich 0 for 1 with the man advantage. And their only goal yesterday against Long Beach came on the power play, and they'll look to rekindle that magic. It'll be Ethan Ranger, Evan Tower, and Drew Schemmel, Norwich's goal scorer up front. Moran and Hayden on the points. Face-off won by Ranger. Moran sends one hard around the boards, collected by Tower in the far corner. Tower wants to cut towards the front of the net. Instead, it goes off of a Bay State stick and out of the zone. Hayden back to retrieve. Hayden will leave things going from behind his own net. Puck managed to hit something, so Hayden had to recollect. Now it's Ethan Ranger up ahead for Moran. Moran will send it down deep. DiFiore out of his cage, didn't do anything with the puck. Picked up by Ranger. Ranger in front, he score! Evan Tower, a power play goal, and it's 3-2. Congratulations, Evan Tower, his first NA3HL goal, and it couldn't have come at a better time as that draws the Sea Captains within one with 3:40 to go in the second period. Well, Sea Captains have had a few different looks on their power play. That time, a bit of a reverse umbrella with Ethan Ranger quarterbacking behind the cage. Sets up Tower, who beats DiFiore to the glove side for his first goal at the junior level, and his first as a Sea Captain. So a 3-2 game with now 3:35 to go in the second period. Here's Harwell. Along for Essing. Loftus behind the net. Throws it up ahead for Killian Ranger. Killian Ranger through center ice. Lost possession of the puck as it's stolen away by Ian Skinner. Skinner into the Norwich zone. His pass goes off the skates of Harwell. Harwell into the corner. Tries reversing up that same side wall. Shot from the point. Knocked away before it ever got through to Pellerito. Flipped up out of the zone. Essing manages to get it out. Back the other way they come. This is chipped up by Hayden. Tim Hayden into the Bay State zone. Sends one on goal. That goes off the heel of the stick of DiFiore. And then we have a whistle as DiFiore pushed off the net and knocked it off of its moorings. Pretty similar to how we saw Brendan Pellerito do just that in the first period. So Bay State unable to change with 2:49 to go in the second period. And the Sea Captains with an offensive zone faceoff. It'll be Byer, Kinahan, and Holton up front with Sachs and Souza on the point. Stepping in for the draw for Bay State is Will Cormie, and he has been very good on the faceoff dot so far in this game. Cormie wins another one into the corner. Kinahan, however, with the hustle, able to come up with possession of the puck. Kinahan gives along Byer, giving back up Holton. Holton winds and fires and sends it wide. Skinner tried to send it down the ice, glove down by Sachs. And Norwich now on the forecheck. Byer picks up the puck, intercepts the pass, sent one towards the slot. Now it's taken away by Cormie. Kinahan gave a poke at it. Kinahan still battling for it. Puck eventually gets past him. And now Tetsana throws over far side into the skates of Woke. Souza joins him right inside the referee's circle. Woke retreats back into his own end under pressure from Kinahan. And then his pass knocked down by Holton. Holton unable to maintain possession of the puck as Woke will take it back. Now Souza taking it away from Woke. Puck still in the skates of Brian Woke, as apparently he's got the puck magnet activated this shift. Now it's Cam Holton with the puck. Holton, another shot kicked aside by DiFiore. Sachs pinching in from the point. Sees this puck go off the Zamboni doors. Kinahan in, saved by DiFiore, and he holds on as Jack Kinahan picked up a loose puck in the slot. Wanted to go 5-hole on DiFiore, but DiFiore already down in the butterfly. So 1:35 to go in the second period, and the Sea Captains, with a little sustained offensive zone pressure in this game, will have another face-off in the Bay State end. Jamison Bain on the draw. Bouncing puck goes through the slot. Basarab able to clear it on out as far as the red line before Moran sends it into the chest of Aiden Bain. Hard to control the puck when it hits you right between the front numbers of the Sea Captains. It's one thing you don't see too many teams in the NA3HL sport is numbers on the front of their jerseys as well, but that's what the Sea Captains have, and it's a nice looking, it's an old classic look. Here's Jamison Bain from the point, kicked aside by DiFiore. Tapia in the corner, beaten to the puck by Johnson. Johnson goes behind the net. Tapia still pursuing after it. Now a centering feed, ends up on the stick of Jamison Bain. A shot saved by DiFiore. At the point, Romita can't keep the puck in the zone. Back the other way they come, team of Basarab by himself. Basarab cutting towards the front, and he sent it wide. Loose puck ends up on the stick of Jameson Bain. Bain puts it up ahead for Tapia. Here's Tapia on a 3-on-1. Romita back for Tapia, giving it along Aiden Bain, and it goes wide. Bain tries stuffing it in on the far side wraparound. No sail there. Off the stick of Tower, and now here they come back the other way with Alex Penning. Penning from the circle. His shot off the stick of Pellerito. Follow-up shot by Booth. Pellerito gets that one as well. Fire Wagon Hockey is up ahead. Here's Drew Schemmel. Schemmel drops back for Tower, whose shot gets shanked wide. 5 seconds to go in the period. One last opportunity. Cook from a bad angle goes through the crease. And that's goals in the middle of the period. They were able to finally play a better brand of hockey towards the end of the period, highlighted by Evan Tower's first goal as a C captain. Norwich in their home white uniforms with the navy and red trim. They skate from right to left in the third period as Trevor Souza chases this puck down in his own end. Reverse behind the net for Sachs. Nick Sachs plays that off the glass. Got it as far as neutral zone before it's lanced back in by Montague. Now Souza. Again off the glass. This time soccered back on in by Will Cormy. Cormy sees this puck get sent out of the zone before it's sent right back in by Montague once again. Sachs tried playing it into traffic. Holton couldn't control the puck. Basarab picks it up in the near side corner. Goes back to the point for Johnson. Johnson a shot, and Wilkie Cook gets in the way of that, sending it wide. Sent down into the corner. Basarab plays it back to the point, intercepted by Holton. Holton unable to clear off the boards. Holton will get a second opportunity, and this time with a little extra room. He gives it along for Ethan Ranger. Ranger, the only C captain really on the ice as the rest of Norwich was in the middle of a change. Sent it on down deep. Trying to play it off the boards was Booth. No sail there. Sent back down behind the net of Ben DiFiore. Out towards center ice, Brian Essing from the red line will send it hard around the boards. That goes off the lip of the boards, so DiFiore unable to come up with it. Now Romita, D to D for Moran. Back into the Bay State zone. Basarab picks it on up, and Brian Woke will take it back the other way. Woke gets around a pair of defenders. Woke a shot goes off the side of the cage. The rebound by Skinner goes off the other side of the cage, and then Pellerito simply stays tight to the post. He'll hold on for a face-off to his left. 18:09 to go in regulation time. 3-2 your score. The Bay State Bobcats with the lead. Off the draw. Controlled by the Bobcats. Shot goes wide. Harwell gave a poke at it, but getting there first is Woke. He sends it back on down. Now Romita tries playing it up the wall for Schemmel. Goes past the stick of Schemmel. Shot from the point gets blocked. The rebound shot by Skinner. Pellerito makes that save, but leaves it alone in front. And Brian Woke scores his second goal of the game. It's 4-2. Again, the Sea Captains surrender a goal in the first 5 minutes of a period, as Pellerito did not know where that puck had gone. It was sitting behind him, and Brian Woke simply pokes it over the line. And once again, the Sea Captains trail by 2, now with 17:49 to go in the third period. Well, that's not the start of the period that they were looking for. So off the ensuing face-off, Killian Ranger able to send the puck down deep. On the far side, looking to work it out was Booth. Booth had the puck knocked off of his stick. Aiden Bain at the blue line. Can't get it around the stick of Cormy. Cormy in his own end. Now played along for Montague. Montague flips it up towards center ice. Trying to knock that out of midair was Basarab. Instead, it'll be Hayden giving along for Aiden Bain, and sent on down into the Bobcats end courtesy of Evan Tower. Just as quickly, Bay State's able to clear it on out. Here's Hayden, one-handing one around to the far side. Bain gave it along for Tower. Aiden Bain again. This time for Essing. Evan Tower picks it up, and now here come the Sea Captains 2-on-2 through the neutral zone. Tower with the puck on goal, saved by DiFiore, and he'll hold on as Tower managed to draw all 3 Bobcat defenders towards him. That left Brian Essing open, but unfortunately Tower did not see that. DiFiore makes the save. Face-off will be to his left. 16:44 to go in regulation time. Off the draw. Here come the Bobcats on a 2-on-1. It's Paya Tetsana with the shot. Save the rebound. They score! Will Stone knocks it out of midair. And it's 5-2 Bobcats. For Stone, it is his first goal as a Bay State Bobcat, his first at the junior level. In this, his 14th game of the year. The officials are discussing it as Stone hit it out of midair. I think they're going to discuss whether or not it was touched by a high stick. From our angle, it looked like it was okay. But, again, we're not the ones wearing the stripes. So, the officials still discussing this one. Not sure which direction they'll go. The official has not made a determination. And it looks as though this is going to be waved off. Oh, that's a break for the Sea Captains. As giving up 1 goal at the beginning of the period's bad enough, but giving up 2 would be even worse. The penalty, or rather the goal, has come off of the scoreboard, and so it's 16:34 to go in the third period. Faceoff should come outside of, or rather, faceoff should come all the way down into the Bay State zone if it was indeed touched by a high stick. We'll have to wait to see how that turns out, but again, the Sea Captains getting lucky here. They'll need to take advantage, as you don't get breaks like that too often. So face-off is going to come outside the zone. Not all the way down, but either way, it's a 4-2 game with now 16.5 to go in regulation time. Icing called against the Sea Captains, and the face-off will come all the way back down into the zone belonging to Brendan Pellerito. Bobcats have gone to the left wing side for a majority of the game. This time they'll switch it on up, and so they'll get set up to Brendan Pellerito's left. On the draw for Bay State is Ian Skinner. He goes up against Ethan Ranger. Ranger with the face-off win. Here's Essing. Tries to give it up ahead for Kinahan. Eventually it's picked up by Ranger. Ranger gets around the defensive Sherm. Diving out was DiFiore. He fell down on the play, but Ranger unable to send it towards the front of the net. Puck back down into the Norwich zone. Battled for. Woke. Sends it on up. Getting shoved down from behind was Johnson. No call on the play as the Bobcats control at center ice. Here's Sherm, knocked off of his stick. Thrown far side. Kinahan had to be careful. He didn't touch the puck. Otherwise, that would have been too many men on the ice against the Sea Captains. They took a too many men on the ice penalty yesterday. And doing so in 2 games, well, that will annoy any coaching staff. Now Troy Harwell. Trailing by 2, Harwell plays it up ahead for Holton. Holton drops back Byer. Byer on goal, punched aside by DiFiore. Puck on the back of the net. Eventually knocked off. Reversed around behind by Montague. We have a whistle, and we have a penalty coming up. It's going to go against Tony Moran of the Sea Captains. And so Bay State will go on to their second power play of the game. They are 1 for 1 so far. And up by 2 goals already with 15-13 to go in the third period. If they can manage to find the back of the net here, that might be all that they need. So face off to the left of Pellerito. It'll be Ethan Ranger on the draw against Will Cormie. False start against Ranger. Bay State will decline the yardage and we'll do it all over again. Bobcats with a face-off win. Wrapped around to the far side. Loftus tries playing it up the boards. That goes off the skates of Booth. Loftus and Booth still battling for the puck. Now Booth with possession. Dishes along Basarab. Basarab's shot gets deflected off the stick of Schemmel wide. Loose puck picked up by Ethan Ranger, and he comes into the zone with Schemmel. Flipped on goal, and DiFiore gets a glove on it. He wanted to play the puck, but the official blowing the whistle. Face-off will be to DiFiore's left. Just 25 seconds gone by in the power play. So off the draw. Near side, it's controlled by the Bobcats. Given back behind the cage where Montague will take a lay of the land and dish one along for Basarab. Through center ice, now it's Booth. Booth turns the puck over. Ethan Ranger gets hit up high by Tima Basarab. That's head contact, and that's an easy trip to the penalty box for Tima Basarab. So we'll skate 4-on-4 for 1 minute and 13 seconds. Question's going to be, because that is a head contact penalty, if the Bobcats will also pick up an additional 10-minute misconduct. We'll have to see how the officials call it. Is this going to be 10 minutes? The Bay State bench doesn't seem to be too happy about things. And so they'll talk things over at the Bay State bench. But because the penalty is head contact, I would not be surprised if an additional 10-minute misconduct was given out here. Actually, it's going to get even worse. It's a 5-minute major against Tima Basarab. And so after we skate 4-on-4 for 1 minute and 13 seconds, the Norwich Sea Captains will have a major power play to try and score twice and get back into this one. Well, the officials talked about it. They made the call, so 4-on-4 for 1 minute 13. Let's see how this shakes out. Off the draw, it's Tower. Going down low for Harwell. Harwell had his stick knocked out of his hands, so Tower comes by to pick up the puck. Evan Tower, already with a goal in this game, gives along for Hayden, who fans on the one-timer. Hayden's centering feed then goes nowhere, and so Brian Woke for the Bobcats. Scored the first goal in this game. He scored again here in the third. Hayden over center red and into the Bobcats zone. To the outside. A centering feed goes off the stick of DiFiore. Pops on out towards the slot. Loftus keeps it alive. Here's Hayden sending one on goal. Saved by DiFiore, and he holds on as Evan Tower was on the doorstep for any rebound that might have been generated. 13:43 to go in the third period. 4-on-4 for another 30 seconds. And then Norwich will have 3 minutes and 48 seconds worth of power play time. And keep in mind, because it's a major power play, they can score as many times as they can muster. Face-off won by the Bobcats. Here's Matt Sherm. Played off the boards for Cormie. Cormie, top of the slot, knocked off his stick by Souza. Trevor Souza picks up the puck from Jamison Bain, gives along for Kinahan. Kinahan over the blue line, lost possession of the puck. Following up on the play is Mateo Ramita. Ramita at the blue line, tried sending it down deeper. That goes off the stick of Booth and it's cleared out of the zone. Now Souza again. Dropped back for Moran. Major power play now for the Sea Captains. Moran Knocked down at the blue line, dumped all the way down the ice. Sea Captains need to put together a solid zone entry here and set up in the Bay State zone. Moran tasked with that as he leads the breakout over the red line and now into the Bay State zone. Dropped back for Schemmel. Schemmel, his centering feed goes off the stick of Booth. Booth nearly with a shorthanded breakaway. Harwell spins out in the neutral zone. Coming back the other way and having a stick knocked out of his hands was Mike Fritz. Ethan Ranger gives it along Schemmel. Back for Ranger. Ranger stepping on in, a shot saved by DiFiore. Ranger picks up his own rebound. Goes back to Hayden at the point. Hayden's shot deflects wide. Now Brian Essing on the far side. Dishes down low, Harwell. Harwell doesn't have anybody waiting for the puck in the slot. Ranger gives along for Schemmel. Schemmel back for Ranger. Ranger comes out from behind the cage, takes a shot, saved by DiFiore. Now Schemmel tries forcing it in on the short side. Puck still loose in the slot before it's cleared all the way down by Landon Booth. 2:28 to go on the major power play. 11:50 to go in regulation time. Hayden nearly lost possession of the puck behind the net to Desmarais. Instead, Hayden's able to take it back. He circles in his own end. Tim Hayden loading up from his own blue line. Gives along for Brian Essing. Essing into the zone. Dips a shoulder, sends the puck behind the net. Hayden the first one there. Now Byer. Goes back to Souza at the blue line. Souza takes a shot in and out of the glove of DiFiore. The rebound by Essing. DiFiore got that as well. Bobcats looking to clear, and they will. Here they come 2-on-2 into the Norwich zone. A shot by Desmarais gets deflected over the top of the cage. Picked up by Harwell, and now Troy Harwell with speed through a neutral zone. Harwell tries going inside out around the defense of Paul Johnson. Lost possession of the puck. Puck comes all the way out to the blue line. Kept alive by Souza. He sends one on goal, deflects wide. Chipped off the glass by Skinner as far as the red line before Loftus sends back for Tegan Byer. Norwich on side as Harwell at the blue line. Has to deal with the pestering of Brian Woke. Puck still pinned up against the boards. Loftus comes by to give it a poke as well. Eventually it squirts over the blue line, so Loftus has to retreat back. Given along for Byer. Byer sends this one down. Doesn't have much pace, so DiFiore is able to stop it behind the net. Wrapped back around the same side wall. Souza keeps it alive, and now walking in from the blue line. Trevor Souza with the puck on his backhand, looking for an option. Gives along for Holton. Holton simply waiting for the puck to get to him. It didn't have the pace, and now here comes Chase Desmarais in on a breakaway. Short-handed Desmarais can't get it around Pellerito. Puck pops on out where it's picked up by Cam Holton. 35 seconds to go on the power play. Trevor Souza by himself in the zone. Sends it into the skates of Sherm. Sherm sends one off the glass, and that comes on out back into the neutral zone. Now Hayden with 25 to go in the power play. D-to-D across for Tower. Evan Tower gives it along for Holton. Holton pressed up against the wall. Tower in there as well. Booth tries chipping it around Hayden. Just manages to get it over the blue line. Hayden then sends one that goes off one of the support beams holding up the ceiling here. And the faceoff will be out towards center ice. 9:32 to go in regulation time. 8 seconds to go on the major power play for the Sea Captains. And they've generated a couple shots on goal, but none truly dangerous. Ethan Ranger on the draw against Landon Booth. Booth wanted to win it forward and did. Moran sends it back down into the Bobcats zone. Playing one hard off the boards was Johnson, and that'll do it for the power play. So back to 5-on-5 hockey, and the Bay State Bobcats holding on to a 2-goal lead. Evan Tower on the forecheck. Sees the puck go past him along the board, sent out towards center ice, where Moran will control and send it back down. Ethan Ranger, the first one to the puck. Ranger giving along for Schemmel, whose one-timer gets blocked by Skinner. Sent far side. Schemmel managed to knock that out of midair. Hayden's able to get it further down into the Bay State zone. Now corralled by Johnson. Sent up the wall, too far for Basarab. Schemmel couldn't get it deep as Johnson gets around a pair of forecheckers. Here comes Paul Johnson, upended by Tony Moran. Solid check thrown by the 0-4 defenseman. Ian Skinner in his own end. Chipped off the glass. Back down the ice. Here's Sachs. Glove down by Skinner. Sachs again. This time too far for Kinahan. And so Matt Sherm in his own end with 8:15 to go in regulation time. Sent up the wall. Now Skinner. His pass goes behind Basarab. No icing on this play as somebody got their stick on it. Nick Sachs and Basarab behind the net. Basarab sends one in front. Glove down by Pellerito. And he'll hold on. That puck, not sure how it even got towards the blue line where Matt Sherm was waiting for it. Pellerito sees that all the way into his glove. Face-off will be to his right with 8:02 to go in the third period. Hey, finally, we're able to get some updates on the scores around the league. They've gone final down in Louisiana. Oklahoma City, a 4-1 victory over the Louisiana Drillers. Meanwhile, out in El Paso, the Rhinos, they're having themselves a game. 8 minutes to go in the second period, and El Paso leads Austin by a 7-2 score. Almost sounds like a football score. Shot from the point by Sachs was blocked by Warren, and now Damon Warren takes it back the other way. Chipped out of the zone. Harwell puts it onto the tape of Essing. Essing takes a hit from Sherm for his trouble. Still managed to get the puck down deep. Jamison Bain on the forecheck. Ends up committing a penalty. And with 7:26 to go in the third period, Bay State is going to go on to their third power play of the game. They're 1 for 2 as Jamison Bain will sit 2 minutes for tripping. Around the rest of the league, the Brahmas and Roadrunners are tied at 1 with 7 minutes to go in the first period. 10 minutes into the first, Peoria has a 1-0 lead over Rochester. And the rest of the games have not yet gotten underway. So we'll get those for you later on. Meanwhile, here it's 4-2. As the Bobcats on the power play, they certainly don't need any more goals. Of course, the insurance markers are always nice. Here's Landon Booth. Over the red line, he'll send it down deep. Linesman gets caught in a Newton's cradle of players, sent down to the ice. Also sent down the ice was the puck as the Sea Captains are able to clear. Basarab sends back behind the cage. Landon Booth gives back Basarab, who swings it along far side for Will Cormie. Cormie with a zone's worth of ice in front of him, gains some speed, breaks into the Norwich zone. 6:40 to go in regulation time. Pass back to the point was misfired. Here's Ethan Ranger, shorthanded. Ranger can't maintain possession of the puck as Basarab got back into position. Now Basarab, his outlet pass knocked down by Ranger. Puck goes off the skate of Booth, and Ranger, for a third time in this shift, manages to get the puck. This time gives it along for Kinahan. Kinahan and Basarab in the corner. Kinahan all by himself, throws one towards the front of the net. That deflects off the skate of Johnson, who gives up ahead for Cormie. Cormie trying to get around Moran. Moran with a solid defensive play gets the puck away from Johnson. Schemmel's able to poke it up ahead, and now Jack Kinahan by himself, shorthanded. Kinahan a rising shot. Maybe getting a piece of it was DiFiore. Penning simply sends it out of the zone. Sending it back the other way is Moran. DiFiore will leave it behind his net for Sherm. 20 seconds to go on this power play. Matt Sherm up ahead through the neutral zone. Sherm getting around everybody, trying to go coast to coast. Saved by Pellerito. Pellerito appears to be injured on the play. Puck is in the back of the net, but Pellerito was hit in the head, and the referee, in an abundance of caution, blows the whistle down. As looks like Pellerito is all right. And these goaltenders' helmets, they don't protect you in the same way that a player's helmet does. And Pellerito being hit up high in the course of play. No penalty on the play, which is the right call. Pellerito will have himself a squirt of water and shake off any cobwebs that may have developed up there. Face-off will be to Pellerito's left. Still shaking it off as Damon Warren shot one off the face-off that went wide. Puck comes out towards the slot. Warren, a shot blocked by Essing. Shot by Sherm gets deflected wide. Penalty has expired. We're back to five-a-side hockey with 5:20 to go in the third period, and the Sea Captains need 2 to tie. Here's Warren coming out from the corner. Warren now behind the net. Tries sending one back to the point. Sherm eventually catches up to it, and he sends it right back down into that far corner. Paul Johnson sends around behind the net. Woke, a centering feed goes through the blue paint and wide. Johnson trying to get around a pair of Norwich defenders, goes back to Penning at the point. Penning stepping in, a rising shot, catches nothing but glass. Sherm now goes down low, Penning. Penning tries to give and go with Sherm. That went off the skates of Byer. Stepping on in and taking a shot is Woke. Pellerito gets a blocker on it. 4.5 to go. Here's Woke. This time faking the shot. Still holding on to possession. Given along for Johnson. Johnson a drive off the side of the cage. You heard a couple cheers come up from the Bay State bench, but it's on the wrong side of the netting. 4:10 to go in regulation time, and Norwich really stuck in their own end. Now finally it's Souza who gives up ahead for Tegan Byer. Byer by himself cuts towards the slot. Byer then gives back along. Turnaround shot by Cook, and it goes wide. Loose puck picked up by Dylan Gallagher. Bobcats 3-on-2 through the neutral zone, send it down deep. Pellerito leaves it for Loftus behind the net. Loftus clears up ahead. Pass can't be corralled by Aiden Bain, and so the Bobcats take possession. 3:40 to go in regulation time. Cam Holton with a big hit. Getting the worst of that was Dylan Gallagher. Shot from the neutral zone, easily handled by DeFiore. Wouldn't have counted anyway as Norwich was offsides. Circling around his net is Jace Desmarais. Desmarais reverses back. Under 3.5 to go in regulation time. We'll start keeping our eyes on Brendan Pellerito and see when he makes his way to the bench. But first, he'll have to deal with the face-off to his left, as there were a pair of Bobcat forecheckers providing the pressure. 3:16 to go in the third period. Bay State holding on to a 4-2 lead. Jace Desmarais, Ethan Ranger on the face-off. Off the draw, goes back up to the point, keeping it alive in the zone is Ian Skinner. A turnaround shot goes off of somebody in front of a net. Getting his own rebound is Will Stone, and Pellerito makes the save. 3:06 to go in the third period. And another face-off down in the Norwich zone. Face off to the right of Pellerito. 3:05 now. Basarab gives it along for Cormy, whose shot gets blocked. Cleared out of the zone. Tower will chase after this. Basarab is passed too hard, or rather too far to handle by Cormy. Shot on by Tower, easily handled by DeFiore. 2:43 to go. Around the boards, this should be icing against the Bobcats. Souza going back to chase it. There's the whistle as the puck crosses the goal line. And Norwich, who already used their timeout earlier in this game, will have to try and think things over on the bench during the course of play. They'll get some fresh legs on the ice, as it will be Harwell, Bain, and Killian Ranger up front, with Trevor Souza and Nick Sachs on the point. Matt Sherm, or check that, that's Will Cormy on the draw for the Bobcats. He gets a warning. Face off one forward by Bain, however it's controlled by the Bobcats. Thrown out of the zone, Souza collects in his own end, has Basarab in front of him, gets it around and gives it along for Killian Ranger. Now Harwell. Harwell back for Ranger, knocked down. Solid check thrown by Mike Montague. Puck still in the Bay State zone. It's flipped out towards the red line. Now Sachs runs into some trouble, running into Cormy. Sachs and Cormy still going at it. Puck ends up on the stick of Ian Skinner. Skinner plays one off the glass. That goes down into the Norwich zone. No icing on the play, and under 2 minutes to go. Centering feed knocked away. Here's Killian Ranger up ahead for Troy Harwell. Harwell wanted to split the defense, knocked off of his stick. Now a quick shot, punched down by DiFiore. Far side, it's Booth coming together with Killian Ranger. Sent back around. Here's Hayden from the point, deflected in front by Harwell. It goes high. Kept alive at the point by Loftus. He sends one on goal. DiFiore with the save. Now Harwell in the corner. He's got 80 seconds to work with. Pellerito stays in goal to our right for the time being as Landon Booth gets around Loftus out of the zone. Booth stops at the red line, plays it into a safe area where Paul Johnson can pick it up and send it down into the Norwich zone. 1:05 to go in the third period. Long pass. Can't be connected with Ranger. Rolls in on goal. DiFiore wanted to play it. Instead, he'll hold on. Pellerito to the bench for Norwich. And so with 59.3 seconds to go in regulation time, the Sea Captains going with the extra attacker. They'll try and score twice in the final minute. Face off to DiFiore's left. It'll be Tegan Byer up front. He's got Wilkie Cook, Evan Tower, and Cam Holton out there with them, with Tim Hayden and Tony Moran on the blue line. It's Moran at his own blue. Pass went off the stick of Cook, corralled by Woke. Woke already has 2 in this game. He sends this off the body of Cam Holton out of play, and so the faceoff will come out into the neutral zone with 45.5 to go. Not sure if that's exactly what Woke had in mind, but it worked out. So Byer on the draw against Desmarais. One forward, past the stick of Cook, flipped up ahead. This goes down the ice, wide of the cage. Icing is called, and with 37.4 seconds to go, the Sea Captains will have another offensive zone face-off. Drew Schemmel will come onto the ice. He replaces Wilkie Cook. Schemmel will set up shop in the slot. Byer steps in for another face-off. Desmarais for the Bobcats. This time one forward by Byer, but cleared all the way down. Moran touches up. And we'll have another face-off down in the Bobcats zone. 3 of the Bobcats never even left the zone after it was sent down the ice. Faceoff will be to the left of DiFiore. This time it's Ethan Ranger on the draw as he replaces Byer. Ranger again tries winning it on goal. Thrown all the way down the ice. This will be another icing call as Moran goes back to retrieve. And there's the whistle. 8 seconds elapse off the clock. 22.6 to go. Well, Sea Captains certainly giving it everything they got. They'll need 2 goals in a span of 22 seconds. Ethan Ranger, the right-handed shot. This time looks like he'll try and win it back. Trevor Souza's waiting for the puck. Off the face-off, it's controlled by the Sea Captains. Here's Holton, a backhand shot, saved by DiFiore. DiFiore can't hold on to it. It's loose on the side of the cage, a real scrum in front. It's under somebody, not sure who. Either way, puck never crossed the goal line. 13.7 seconds to go. And the faceoff will be to DiFiore's left. We'll see if it's Ranger who takes this face-off or if Drew Schemmel will slide across. It's actually going to be Tim Hayden on the draw. Hayden, a left-handed shot. So again, they're going to try and just shoot it on goal. 4 players in the slot for the Sea Captains. As Hayden sends it on goal, saved by DiFiore. Puck comes out towards the slot, cleared down the ice. This rolls on down. It'll go wide of the cage. First one to it is Gallagher. 6 seconds to go. Holton in the corner. Now Tower with the puck. And that will do it. The Bay State Bobcats take a drive on down from Holyoke,